Hi friends, it's Nadi here. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I didn't think I was going to get around to post this video, but I'm glad I did. We're going to do the fruit cake, Christmas black cake, rum cake, Caribbean rum cake. Let's do it. It's moist, it's rich, it's delicious. Guys, I have everything here needed to make our black cake. I have 4 eggs, 1 cup of brown sugar, and I have like about 2 tablespoons additional sugar here. I have vanilla essence, some browning, I have baking powder, lemon zest, I have cinnamon powder, nutmeg, and just a pinch of salt. It's like about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I have butter. I'm using 1 cup of butter here, and I have my fruits. And this is 3 cups of the soaked fruits. I have here flour. I'm using 1 and 3/4 cup of flour. Now my fruits, I didn't soak it long. I just soaked it for like about 2 weeks. And I blended it first and then I soaked it with the rum and wine. So that's my blended fruits. The very first thing I like to do is to prepare my dry ingredients. So I'm going to add the baking powder. I'm going to add the salt. And I'm going to add my cinnamon and nutmeg. And I'm using the freshly ground nutmeg for this. Now I'm going to go ahead and sift this. And see, I like to double sift, and this is going to blend everything together, and also it's going to make the flour lighter. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add the lemon zest to the egg. And this will help to get rid of the freshness and the rankness from the egg. So I'm just going to mix this really well. So I'm just going to prepare my pan. I like to get this out of the way. And I'm just going to put parchment paper in. And just lightly brush it in there. So guys, today I'm going to use my hand mixer. So we're going to cream the butter and the sugar. So I'm using 1 cup of butter. And these are all 1/4 each. I'm going to go ahead and add sugar. That's 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I am going to add 1 cup of sugar. And we're using brown sugar for this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and cream this until it becomes light and airy and fluffy. You want to get it nice and fluffy. So friends, in between mixing, what you want to do, you just want to scrape at the edges and, just to get everything in there. So guys, after 5 minutes, this is what it's looking like. But, it's still not ready. We have to get it nice and fluffy. And, the sugar, at least most of it should be melting. So I'm going to cream this some more. So guys, this is it. It took me almost 15 minutes to get it to this consistency. And you see how nice and fluffy this is? So this is what we're looking for. So we're going to move on to the next step. So now we're going to start adding our eggs, and we're going to add the small amount gradually. So we're going to add a little bit, and then we're going to mix this. So now all the eggs is incorporated nicely. I'm going to go ahead and add my vanilla essence. And I'm just going to give this another 3 minutes of mixing. So this is looking really good right now. So I'm just going to scrape the edges and get everything in there. So guys, we have here our fruits, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of wine to this. I really like the texture of the fruit. It's not too chunky, and also it has a nice texture, like it has like a little fine grain to it. So I really like the texture of the fruit. So now we're going to start adding some fruits in here. I'm not going to add all at one time. I'm just going to do it in increments. So friends, before I move on to the last step, I'm going to go ahead and place a water bath at the bottom rack in the oven. And this usually stabilizes the temperature, so your cake won't dry out. So final step, we're going to add the flour, and we're going to do this gradually. So I'm just adding small amount. I'm adding less than half of a cup. And I'm going to gently fold this in. So I'm going to add another half a cup. And we're going to fold this in. Now at this point, you never want to overwork your batter. It's the same thing like the sponge cake that we did earlier. You want to gently fold this in. And we're going to add the final bit. And we're going to fold this in. So our next step, we're going to add the browning. Now I have here 2 tablespoons of browning, and I'm going to gradually add it until I get my desired color. And you can make it as dark as you want or as light as you want. I like it somehow in the medium. I don't like it too dark. So let's see how this goes. So we're just going to mix that. I'm just going to add some more. And I'm gently working the browning in because I don't want to overwork the batter. So now you gently fold it in. So guys, I feel I need a little bit more browning, so I'm just going to add a tablespoon more. So that's 3 tablespoons altogether. Guys, it's all done, and the color is just right for me. So, the batter is nice. And at any point, if you feel that your batter is too thick and you need to add liquid, just add some more wine or brandy or rum, whatever your choice is. So now I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this into my baking pan. Also, my oven is at 280 Fahrenheit, and it has the water bath that I placed earlier. So, and we're gonna bake this anywhere between 1.5 to 2 hours. I'm just gonna give this a couple taps just to get rid of all the air bubbles. So friends, it's all done, and immediately after you take it out from the oven, you want to pour your wine or brandy over it really quickly, because once it's hot, it really absorbs all the liquor at the end. And even if it have any cracks, do not worry about it, because mine had a crack, and as soon as you pour the wine on, it's just kind of fix everything. And so for this cake, after baking, I used about 3/4 cup of sweet wine, red wine. And, it's a personal choice. You can use as much as you want. But the more you put into it, the more moist it's going to be. And it's going to be dense and moist. And so with 3/4 of a cup, this was just right. So friends, this is it after all the wine has absorbed into the cake. Also, you want to make sure it's cool completely. Give it at least 4 hours for it to cool completely. So this has been resting for at least 4 hours. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut into it so you can see the inside of the cake. Now you can see how moist this is. So it's rich, it's moist, and guys, so yummy. And so to retain the moisture, wrap it well with, I usually do parchment paper and then wrap with the cling wrap. And it usually keeps very moist, and, it stays for a very long time. So you can keep it outside, or after a couple of days, you can put it in the refrigerator. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my other videos. Take care now. Happy holidays.